President Obama went behind closed doors, and it looks like he's about to emerge with a compromise of the Bush tax cuts. And Reuters is reporting that Democrats have told the president that they'll go along with it. Joining us now is Congressman from Minnesota, Keith Ellison. He is the co-chair of the Progressive Caucus. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. What, if anything, can you bet? What, if anything, can you tell us about this reported deal that's been made? A 2-year extension on the Bush tax cuts, 13 months unemployment insurance extended, 2% payroll tax credit. What do you know?
Well, you know, Ed, we're all waiting for the information to come out as it's been reported in the press. Not every Democrat was in that meeting. I wasn't in there. But I can tell you this, that, you know, the fact is that if the Republicans want to stand in the way of a middle-class tax cut, if they want to hold it hostage so that the richest Americans can get a tax cut, I mean, I think that that's something that we should stand up and fight for. I mean, we got to stand, fight for the middle class. You know, look, $700 billion, which is this is going to add to the deficit, is an expense Americans should not have to bear, particularly when, you know, $700 billion could probably send every kid to college for the year. $700 billion could probably pay for universal preschool education. $700 billion could do a lot of infrastructure work and put Americans back to work. Why are we giving it to the most privileged Americans, and why are we asking everybody to do their fair share in this economy?
Congressman, do you think this weakens President Obama and the Democrats? I mean, I have been inundated with email today and phone calls from folks around the country who think that this is total capitulation, that the very tax policy that took us into this ditch is exactly what President Obama and the Democrats are ready to sign on to.
Well, let me say this. You know, it is the Republicans who caused this situation. You could say that the Democrats could have played it better, but if you beat on the Democratic president long enough, you're going to end up with a Republican president, and then you're going to see real pain. So that's what I'd say to my progressive friends out there, that we have to encourage the president to stand up for the values we stand up for.
But he's not standing up. That's just the whole thing of it. There's a lot of Americans out there that think that President Obama has caved in on this, and the Republicans, on paper, as it's been reported, are getting everything they want. They're not giving up anything.
Well, you know what? They should be giving up a whole lot of things, and I believe that the fact is we've got to stand and fight. But, Ed, I'm not going to be the one to help Republicans get rid of Barack Obama, okay? Yeah. We've got to be the ones. We've got to remember that the fact is that it is the Republicans who stood in the way of middle-class tax cuts. That's who did that. It's the Republicans who demanded that something like unemployment insurance have to be paid for, while $700 billion in tax cuts for the rich would not be paid for. That's where the blame lies. That's where I'm going to pin it. And so we've got to understand something, that, look, you know, when Democrats fight and don't win, the fact is that it's Republicans who are trying to impose a lot of pain on the middle class, and I'm not going to stand by and act like it's the Democrats' fault. I'm going to encourage them to stick and to stay, to stand up, and to keep on fighting back. I'd like to see the people who want to stand. I'd like to see the people who want to send calls out to Obama also send them out to Republicans as well. Send them out to Mitch McConnell. Send them out to John Boehner. Send them out to the people who are saying that unless the very rich get a lot, the middle class get absolutely nothing. Keep the focus on where it relies.
Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota, good to have you with us tonight. I appreciate you spending time with us. We are waiting the President of the United States. You bet.